I'm Mark Bridge, and you're watching the Pop Culture Galaxy Show.
Suddenly piece yourself back together now. What's your vision?
Alright, before I get into the movie news and video games and all that stuff that I talk about on the show, I'm just going to start with what I've been watching. And of course, I've been watching the Castlevania Season 2 on Netflix. And that show, it's a shame that it takes an animated series to adapt the video game properly. Now, I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat, the first one, and Silent Hill, but you know those aren't really gold standards when it comes to films in general. But Castlevania, it manages to take the essence of the video games, and it's really adapting Castlevania 3, but it's taking this sort of no narrative storyline from Castlevania 3 and adding some depth to it, and it manages to do it so perfectly. Now, granted, I had to watch season 2 twice because there were some things I just didn't get. Some of the stuff went over my head. Maybe I wasn't paying attention too closely, but you know, a lot of the whole political machinations with, like, especially Camilla and Dracula and the rest of his general, like why did they want to betray him and stuff like that. But once I watched it again, it was like, oh yeah, now I fully get it. Now I understand it. But yeah, once I have the full understanding of the show, like, it's really, really amazing. And you know, season 1 was only 4 episodes, and this one is 8. So you can watch season 1 and 2 in one sitting as like 12 episode, like a 12 episode season. That's like the preferred method of really watching it. Season 3, we're not sure what's gonna happen in season 3, but if I had to take a guess, I would say that it's really gonna delve into the whole Curse of Darkness storyline that has Isaac as the main character. Hector as the main character and Isaac as the main protagonist, because it kind of sets them up for at the end of the season as players that are gonna be a huge part in season 3. Now the thing is, I wasn't a huge fan of Castlevania, the video games. Like, they were always around, you know, I was around from the original Nintendo, but I just never really played them, so I couldn't tell you like the ins and outs of the storyline. However, I did do like a whole timeline lore on YouTube and kind of brush up on my Castlevania isms, and I got a whole bunch of story that has to do with Castlevania. And that's when I rewatched season 2, I kind of picked out more stuff that I missed earlier. And yeah, so like, based on what I know about the lore, I could definitely say that season 3 will definitely be the whole Hector Isaac rivalry. Trevor might just show up, but I doubt Trevor will be the main protagonist. But let's see how it goes because they already greenlit season 3, so we know it's coming. So I can't wait to see. Now let's actually move on to some movie news. Alright, so to start it off, I'm going to talk about the box office report of the weekend. Now, we have Halloween still at number 1. It dropped 58% from the last weekend to make 32 million. A Star is Born, I think it's his third weekend, made 14 million. And you have Venom still holding on strong, 10 million. I want to talk a little bit about Venom. Sony and Venom, and then running out the top five is Goosebumps 2 and Hunter Killer, which is new, but it looks like it didn't do too well. But you know, I didn't even know that movie was coming out, so it's not really marketed properly. Also new is Johnny English Strikes Again, which is the third movie in the series, and it only took in 1.6 million, so it didn't do too well. But then going back to Sony with Venom, so it did well for them. It made 187 domestic, that's over 100 million box office. So it's definitely making back some money, especially when you consider its worldwide numbers. So will that give Sony sort of the whole leverage, like we don't need Disney and Marvel, so they going to take back Spider-Man when the second film, Far From Home, comes out, which is the last film in the Sony and Disney deal. So who knows? Venom might give them a sign like, "Yep, we are ready to take back Spider-Man." Hopefully that's not the case, because Spider-Man is really in good hands right now with Disney, and they both benefit from the deal. So hopefully cool heads prevail and they realize that it's a business proposition that is actually working. And then coming new this Friday is Bohemian Rhapsody, that Bryan Singer directed, and the Nutcracker and the Four Realms from Disney. Who's gonna be number one? If I had to put money on it, I would say the Nutcracker would probably be number one. Bohemian Rhapsody, yes, it has a lot of sort of like press going in, especially with the whole Bryan Singer deal, and but it's like split in the middle when it comes to the critics. It's like at 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, it could, the audience might just take it or leave it, but more family affair would be the Nutcracker and the Four Realms. So I would place my bet more on that. But the two films might not be like the ones that people are really looking forward to. Like maybe they'll save their money this weekend and wait for the following weekend, which has the release of the Fantastic Beasts, the second Fantastic Beast in the Harry Potter realm. But who knows? So let's see how this weekend goes when those two go head to head. But one of those will definitely be number one. I don't think Halloween is gonna hold on to that spot, but hey, it may surprise us. All right, the next bit of film news I want to talk about is Catherine Langford. She is joining the Avengers 4 cast. Now, a lot of speculation is that she will play another member of the Young Avengers, because we know we're getting a older Cassie Lang, and Cassie Lang is Stature. So is she going to be another member of the Young Justice, like maybe perhaps Kate Bishop, aka the new Hawkeye? Who knows? I mean, I really hate to play like the speculation game, especially when it comes to casting, when they cast an actor and don't disclose who they're playing. Then everybody's like speculating, oh, could this person be that, could this person be this? And it's happened with the Avengers a lot of time, especially when I think Linda Cardellini was announced to play a role. Nobody knew who she was, so some were speculating, ooh, Captain Marvel, is she gonna be this person and that? And it turns out to be just Hawkeye's wife. So she could just play like a really small role, but who knows? We have a sense that this movie is gonna have like a big time jump, and when it does, you could possibly have the Young Avengers sort of being in training, like trying to prevent whatever happens with the whole Thanos snap from happening. And let's see. I'm sure we'll find out before the year is done. And speaking of which, Kevin Feige did say that we're getting a trailer. I mean, I didn't put it in my notes because like it's really a non-story. I mean, we kind of knew we were gonna get a trailer for Avengers 4 before the year's up, but Kevin Feige did confirm, and yes, we're getting a trailer before the year's up. So can't wait to see that. And especially, what is the name of this movie? We still don't know. Like, I don't think they should have made this whole secret of the next movie a big deal. Like, we should have known Avengers Infinity War is out already. So we're finished talking about Infinity War. Like, what's the big deal? Give us a name. All right, so let's move on to some TV news. Alright, so the first bit of news I want to talk about is Timeless. When NBC canceled Timeless. They canceled it after the first season, and everybody pretty much rioted. And they brought it back for a season 2, and everybody was like, "Oh, thank God, thank God." But then they canceled it again after season 2, and then it would be like, all right, there's no hope. I mean, they canceled this thing twice. You know, just give up. But then they announced that they're actually going to wrap up the story in a series finale, and thank goodness. So we now know the date of the series finale. So it's the Timeless season 3. Well, it's just a series finale. It's going to air on December 20th at 8 p.m. and it's going to be 2 hours. So it's pretty much like a TV movie to just wrap it all up, because we want to know what happens to Rufus. I mean, we know spoiler alert for people who aren't caught up, he was killed in the season finale of season 2, and then future I can't believe I'm forgetting the name, but the two characters, they came from the future to say, hey, do you want to come back and do you want to go back and rescue Rufus? And that's where it ended, and holy crap. So we were finally gonna, get, especially I think for streaming purposes, they want to have this whole capper so that it can sell it. I don't think the whole syndication where you had to have, like, first it was 100 episodes, then it went down to 60 to really sell a package of a show. But now that you have, like, all types of streaming service, now you can have, like, a definitive ending to sell it to, like, any kind of streaming service as an ending. And I'm super excited that is the case. All right. And then the next bit of news I want to talk about is the Orville teaser. Well, really, it's like a short preview dropped, and showing more of what's gonna happen this December when it comes out on the 30th. And it still looks like it has the humor in it, but it's funny how the season 2 of Discovery showed this trailer, and it felt like the Orville, like a little bit lighter in tone. And this one, I mean, not saying this one went dark, but it did have like a lot of sort of ominous tone to it. So it's like they're kind of switching. It'll be funny if season 2 of Discovery is lighter in tone, and then season 2 of Orville is darker in tone. You're like, I doubt it, because it's Seth MacFarlane, and a lot of people loved the Orville for what it was in terms of representing old Star Trek flavor. So I don't think he'll all of a sudden twist it. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. And so let's move on to some video game news. So we heard that they're releasing the classic PS1 preloaded with titles in it already, and a lot of people are excited to buy that package. I mean, not me. I mean, I have a PS3. I have the PS3 when it still had backwards compatibility with the PS1 and PS2, so I really don't need this, even though the advantage of me getting that would be that it has a bunch of games that I might not have in my arsenal. I do have, I guess, the major titles that's on it that already, so I don't really need. But for those who don't have the PS1 games, or maybe sold it and just want to actually relive it, or just never experienced it, this is a definite buy for you, because it has some classics on there. So it has Battle Arena Toshinden. I did play that once, I think. Cool Borders, never played it. Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII. Oh my god, that's a classic. Grand Theft Auto, the very first. Now, a lot of people might be turned off by the very first Grand Theft Auto, because it's nothing like the Grand Theft Auto you know now. Like, first of all, this one's like top down, and it doesn't really have licensed music, so it'll be strange one for you to go from current Grand Theft Auto series to go way back. Then you have Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid. Yes, Metal Gear Solid is a must get. Dr. Driller, Oddworld, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, a must get. Revelations Persona, Ridge 4, which is Ridge Racer, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I'll probably skip that one. Siphon Filter, classic. Tekken 3, classic. Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms, all classic. And definitely want to get involved with that. So yeah, that's the full list of the games that'll be on it. They unfortunately said that they won't be adding new games to it, so they can't like add games via like a patch or anything like that. But all those games are really classic, so it's a definitely good buy for me. All right, so that'll wrap up all the news. So remember, if you guys want to ask any questions or leave any comments or anything like that, you can email the show at the PG Show at popculturegalaxy.com. That's the PG Show at popculturegalaxy.com. All right, so hit that subscribe button, hit that notification, drop a comment and like, and let me know what you thought about all the topics I talk about today. So until next time, folks, peace.